Goddamn. Oh shit. Yo, they are coming for P Diddy. Puffy, that brother Love. I don't know who Puffy turned off or who Puffy disrespected that is in a position of power, or maybe it's the whole thing that they always talk about where in order to play in the $100 million club, you got to go through some humiliation and all this other stuff, or you got to play by certain rules behind the scenes that we as regular civilians don't know about. I don't know what this is. Or if you piss the masters off, they'll come for you and take away all your wealth. Or maybe this is the part where he made a deal with the devil and the devil is coming back to collect. I don't know. But what I see going on with Puffy in the last couple of weeks, man, it's terrible. And the thing is every news media house is carrying this. I'm scrolling on a computer screen right now and I'm looking at Hiawatha World. I'm looking at Page 6. I'm looking at Sky News. I'm looking at CBS News. I'm looking at La Prensa Latina. I'm looking at The Globe and The Mail. I'm looking at People Magazine. I'm looking at Time, Rolling Stone, CBS, CNN, Fox. They all on it. God damn. Let's get into this fourth allegation. Hey, welcome back to BrainFLoTv, man. If you've never been here before, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the bell next to the subscribe button so you are notified every time a new video goes up on BrainFLoTv. First of all, let me say, 50 Cent right now is working with a singer from the past who has written a book, Mark Curry. And Mark Curry is revealing a whole lot of shit. Okay, Mark Curry was privy to be on the scene back in the day. He was one of Puffy's artists. And according to Mark Curry, Puffy did him dirty and he got nothing out of it, tricked him, took his publishing or royalties or whatever, and Mark said, okay, I'm going to get my money one way or another. You robbed me because I didn't understand the contracts, but I told you I'm going to write a tell-all book. So either or either. Well, 50 Cent, Curtis Jackson, as Charlemagne the God calls him, the diabolical genius, he has signed on with Mark Curry to make that project, that book, come alive. Mark Curry starts doing interviews. I woke up this morning, I tap in. The first thing I see is Mark Curry talking about how when you went to Diddy them parties back in the day, they had a whole lot of champagne bottles lined up and the champagne bottles were separated. And they would tell you that don't touch those over there because those over there got Molly or pills or whatever they got in those bottles. And then these over here are the ones you could drink from. And he would watch the women that come in the party, and they would serve them from the bottles that they told him not to drink from. And in no time, the party would be full of women just walking around with their mouth wide open, walking in slow motion like zombies. And you have guys just popping pills into the girl's mouth and doing whatever they want. He even talked about going to see Diddy. He like, yeah, I'm in the city. I'll pop up and see you. He said, you ever seen a grown man answer the door butt ass naked? Or some weird shit. Puffy just being there laid out butt naked. And he telling you to come up and see him. And you go up there and he answer the door butt ass naked. And you like, whoa, turn your head the other way. Like, it's all right, man. I ain't coming in. I'll come back and see you another time kind of thing. Whether all that is true or not, that makes for a bestseller book. Because of who Puffy is. Right? The mogul. Sean P. Diddy Combs, Bad Boy Records, the history, the story, kind of like Death Row Records. We watch the rise and the fall of the CEO of Death Records, Suge Knight. And now it seems like we are watching Puffy go through the grinder. Golly. Let's talk about this fourth allegation though, because things are getting extremely sticky. Look, there's a new lawsuit out. And this new lawsuit out alleges now that Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficked and gang raped a teenager. Now, if it's one thing to have a allegation, but when the woman has pictures of her in your circle on your lap when she was that age, it's going to be really hard for you to say none of this ever happened. I don't even know this person. She was never around me. So let's take this one from MSN.com. This is the details. A new lawsuit has alleged that Sean Diddy Combs, along with other people, sex trafficked and gang raped a teenager. The complaint, submitted anonymously via the name Jane Doe to the Southern District of New York Court on Wednesday, is the latest case against the 54-year-old rapper and business mogul. Combs has strongly denied these allegations, and on Wednesday, he wrote this on Instagram. That man said, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations that have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." That complaint by Miss Doe claims that in 2003, when she was 17 years old, she was sex trafficked and gang raped by Sean P. Diddy Combs, Bad Boy Records president Harvey Pierre, and another unnamed person. 3 of them. Check it. Y'all remember when Gail did that interview with R. Kelly and he bust out, got all emotional? He was like, "I'm fighting for my fucking life." Y'all remember that? Okay, y'all see where R. Kelly is at today? Well, she alleges that she met Combs at a lounge in Detroit area and subsequently traveled on a private jet to the studio in New York. There's another report out that spins it another way though. The report says she met Pierre. Ms. Doe claims that she was sexually assaulted by Pierre during the flight before being raped by all 3 men at the studio by the time she got to the studio. Now, you know, let's be for real. You 17, some music executive mogul, you know, back in them days, that's party kind of thing. You want to be in a company of stars. There was a trick line for a lot of people who are influential in the entertainment world, especially if you're a big mogul. "Come here, girl, I can make you famous." They had a song one time, "Have a baby by me, baby, you rich, baby." Right? That means all you had to do was get pregnant for me, you wealthy. I think that was a line from a 50 Cent song. Listen, she alleged. She said she first met Pierre. Okay? Pierre was then the president, Pierre Harvey, or Harvey Pierre, the president of Bad Boy Records. She claims that she met him first, and he approached her and he was talking to her and he was like, "Yo, I'm the president of Bad Boy Records. You know Puffy, Sean P. Diddy Combs?" And she was like, "Yeah, that's my favorite star, whatever." She's 17, she's young, she's giddy. And he was like, "I could take you to meet him. You know, we could go out, have some fun and whatnot. You want to jump on a private jet? You want to fly?" And she was like, "Yeah." And she just went. If you ask me, my 17-year-old daughter couldn't go anywhere without me knowing where you're at, let alone jump on a private jet, be in a whole another state. But, okay, she did that, right? And it's according to her claim. First thing Pierre said was, "You gonna give me some head before we do all this." So she ends up giving sloppy toppy before the jet takes off. And then she was taken there to go meet Diddy. She's at the studio with Diddy. She's flicking it up, taking pics. I swear to God, the pictures are out. And these, I don't know if, listen, let me do my own disclaimer. I see pictures floating around of some young lady that's sitting on his lap that is alleged to be the individual, that is alleged to be the time that she is speaking about, right? Miss Doe claims that she was sexually assaulted by Pierre during the flight before being raped by all 3 men after she got to the studio. A statement from her lawyer, Douglas H. Wigdor, the founding partner of Wigdor LLP, to the PA news agency said, "As alleged in the complaint, defendants preyed on a vulnerable high school teenager as part of a sex trafficking scheme that involved plying her with alcohol and drugs, giving her drugs and alcohol. She was inebriated, and then transporting her by private jet to New York City, where she was gang raped by the 3 individual defendants at Mr. Combs' studio. Now, if you traveling with a minor, and a minor, which is under 18, is in your company as an adult, I think you usually have to prove that you are that parent's or legal guardian or something like that. I don't know, because back in the day, they used to put kids on an airplane. Shit, they did it to me. My dad was living in Connecticut and my mom was living in Miami, and they just coordinated with the airlines, put us on the airline, and me, my brother, and my sister took our own flight down to Miami, and my mom picked us up in Miami. So I guess the laws were a bit lax back then, but they didn't have to worry about all that because they were going on private jet. Now, the depravity of these abhorrent acts has, not surprisingly, scarred our client for life, is what the attorney said. A previous lawsuit that was filed by Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura, against Puffy was settled in November, and we're learning now that Puffy didn't have nothing to do with settling that lawsuit. Remember when it settled within less than 24 hours? Everybody was like, damn, she must have been telling the truth, because he got scared. He settled in less than 24 hours. Well, it's not so. Apparently, what she did was she sued not only Sean P. Diddy Combs as a person, she also sued his corporation, businesses, LLC, whatever you want to call them. And that triggered some type of liability insurance, in which took the decision out of his hand and brought it into the hands of the stakeholders. The stakeholders said, listen, it's best to settle right now before we go down this rabbit hole and end up with a big loss, right? All the media attention, negativity, all that other stuff. It could really turn out bad for all the brands and all the businesses we have going on. That's what that was about. Anyways, when Cassie alleged that she was raped and her all this other stuff, that was enough for them to say, listen, okay, take this offline, get your money behind the scenes, go about your business. But then 2 more women came forward to accuse him of abuse in their lawsuits. And man, this is just not looking good. Okay. Now, Puffy is a 3-time Grammy winner. He got some hit songs under his belt. I'll Be Missing You, Can't Nobody Hold Me Down. You name the rest of them. He founded the Bad Boy Records in early 90s, for which Cassie at the time had signed a 10-album deal with a 2006. This was in 2006 when she was 19 years old. That's a wicked ass deal. 10 albums. Shit. Sign me to a 3-album deal. Sign me to a 5-album deal. But 10 albums? Do you know how long it'll take for you to put out 10 albums? 10 albums. First of all, you're not putting out 1 album per year. I'm just trying to give you all the mathematics and the psychology behind this. This is how somebody gets owned. You're not putting out 1 album per year, because you have to put an album out. Then the album has singles on it, multiple singles. Then you got to take these multiple singles and bring them to TV, where you're and all the streaming platforms that do video, right? Where you have to shoot videos, different locations, different shooting cast, all that, different themes for the song. Each song, say if you put 1 album out that has 10 songs on it, and 5 of those songs are singles that are hitting on their own, playing on the radio, everything. You got to shoot a video for each one of those 5 songs. Then you got to go on tour. And then you got to blow that album up and work it so you get the money back that was put in it to promote it for the producers and everybody else, writers, the performance, and the music executives who invested the money, so on and so forth. That's 1 album. That's going to take you about 2-3 years to do each album. And that's why after couple of years, you'll see people put another album out. People put albums out about every 3 years, 3 to 5 years, an album comes out. So if you're signed for a 10-album deal and albums come out at a 3 to 5 year ratio, you do the math. you're going to be on that deal until you're like 50, 60 years. I don't know. But anyhow, that's when Cassie signed. She was 19. She signed a 10-album deal in 2006. Combs and Bad Boy Records has been contacted by many people for response to all these allegations, but I guess it ain't the time to be talking, because what you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. Hear what? We're going to leave this one right here for y'all to think about this really. All right. Do y'all really think that it all went down like these people are saying? Or do you think that this is just a money grab? Because it's not just these women that are talking. This is what makes this crazy. The stories are now starting to line up. And you have men that are talking, men who were in key positions like security guard, and then other artists, male artists that were signed to Diddy back in the day, and then, you know, personal people who were around them who are coming forth with the same stories. Either way, man, after watching that whole R. Kelly series stuff and how they took R. Kelly down, we might be seeing something like that on Puffy. We might. I'll catch y'all on the next video. It's BrainFLoTv. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.